just noticed that we're both doing this.
See, we're swaying in sync, as the boy band fans might say.
Gwen, I've become increasingly aware that we are increasingly becoming the same person, and I love it.
I do. When the world opens up, of course, there will only be room for one of us, and then we'll have to figure it out.
Yes, I'll win.
Welcome, everyone, to the IB Baking Challenge.
We are so happy to see you all in the Twitch chat.
Yes, we're so happy to see you. Hello, Joseph. Hello, Loaf. Hello, Marissa. Hello, Grimster, Radish, Brett, Lauren, Chappa. Thank you so much for being here. We have another great episode for you, and this week is very special. Our theme this week is generous layers. Julie, what does that mean?
It means a very generous, very anonymous donor. The most anonymous. We have no idea who it is. They are donating $1 for every layer on today's show, up to $300. We have so many layers.
So many layers. Yes, Loaf, I do contain multitudes. You are correct. And one of the layers that I have here is my very own submission this week. Something I've always wanted to make and never had the willpower for is a crepe cake. Now, a crepe cake is where you make 1 million of these tiny little layers of crepes. They're just like pancakes, only they're flatter.
Gwen, did you make the crepes yourself?
I did. I got a crepe pan burn, in fact.
I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit to say they're just like pancakes. Every time I've ever attempted crepes, it's ended disastrously and with a lot of curse words that are inappropriate.
Yes. Well, there were plenty of curse words, and I will say that it is not difficult to make a crepe. It is difficult to make a good crepe. These are not good crepes. For a crepe, they're very thick. For a pancake, they're thin, but for a crepe, they're thick.
Well, this might be a good time to remind you of literally the only rule we have here on the Improv Boston Baking Challenge, and that is that you, in fact, taste your creation.
Indeed. And so by the end of the episode, we will have finished my creation. I will be layering. In the meanwhile, I have whipped cream. And I have strawberries. And I'll be layering them with all of these crepes. This is my plate of crepes. And we will be making a cake together. However, because the theme is generous layers, we want generous not only to apply to donations, but also to love. So we wanted to do something special for you.
That's right. If there is anyone in your life or in the Improv Boston community, for example, that you would like to give a shout out, as the kids would say, you would like to express your love and appreciation, feel free to do so. Now, you can do so several ways. The first is if you're tech savvy, you can post an Instagram story or do an Instagram post about them and why they are special to you and what they have done for you in your life, and tag Improv Boston so we can reshare that from our stories. Or you can email, we'll have you email mike.car, 2 R's, not the vehicle, at improvboston.com, and we'll get those posted.
Yes, and lastly, if you would like us to give a shout out, we would love to give an Instagram shout out to your loved one as well. So send us either an Instagram or post in the chat who you would like to dedicate to, and we will dedicate a story to them.
Well done. You know, I'd like to get things started by talking about someone that I'd like to give a little shout out to, and that is Kat. Kat is our star baker. She comes back every week for us, and the only thing that is brighter than Kat is Kat's love of mayo. She is such a gift to us all. So that is my first offering of a layer, is the wonderful Kat. She is so sweet to everyone. And she really is one of the people that when I first came to the Boston area and came to Improv Boston, she really has been kind and welcoming to me from the start. And I've never forgotten that. I appreciate you so very much, Kat.
Yes,
You get the whipped cream layer.
Yes, this layer's for you.
Oh, thank you. That is so very sweet, Julie. I very much appreciate it. And never fear, today's week will also include lots of mayonnaise, which means lots of love.
I've come to accept that.
Yes.
Now, to give you a heads up as to what I'll be doing over the course of the show, is my layers are not assembled yet either, just like Gwen's. I have all of these pieces of Jello that I've made, Jello jigglers. So
Oh,
they're
that takes me back.
stiff and thick. I have made, as Loaf so proudly is saying, 94 Jello slices. And I'm going to see how many of them I can stack together on these accoutrements I have prepared to help keep things upright, because Jello is very slippery and the layers are not as flat as I would have hoped. And so because of that, I'm going to be using mayonnaise in between each of the Jello layers to help
Layer
even it out.
itself.
Yes, it is a layer unto itself. And for those, I don't know if if Doc Chap is in the audience, but I do want to just say, this mayonnaise expires in August. It is not expired mayonnaise anymore.
Round of applause for Kat for unexpired mayonnaise.
Oh,
Yes.
little
So
weird.
we'll see how much of this I use for all of these potentially up to 94 Jello layers and however many intermediary layers I get out of mayonnaise.
So just one important question. Is there fire involved this week as there was last week?
This week, the only fire is any fire emojis that people put into the Twitch chat.
Ooh.
Well, feel free to put those fire emojis in. For those of you that were watching last week, we did learn that mayonnaise burns like diesel fuel. So if you're going to light your mayonnaise on fire, please do that outside at a picnic table near a fire extinguisher.
Yes, please do be careful. However, if you're looking to create a fire and you have nothing on you but mayonnaise, good news.
Turns out it works. And I will also be completely open about this. I'm terrible at math, so I think it's safe to say we are going to rely on those of you in the chat to track these layers today. So
Yes.
we've got a lot to look forward to, Kat. Do we get to see the initial jiggler on the, what is it, a pole, a skewer?
These are skewers, yes. We'll do the inaugural piece here. I have so many of these. We'll start with
Edible art. I'm so excited.
It is.
one of the large layers.
It reminds me of that statue at the MFA.
Oh,
Get that mayonnaise in there. I have a nice spatula to even it out.
You know, it's getting easier to watch.
Yes, I think I've grown a little bit intolerant to the thought of the mayo. To be there we go.
Layer number 2. 2 for Jello. I guess if you count the mayonnaise, that's 3 in total. So we are off to the races, Gwen and Julie.
All right, so we're at 3 layers. Thank you so much.
And I have Loaf here to keep track as we go along as well. So.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, we're always glad to have Loaf as well. And those of you in the chat, please hold us accountable for these layers.
Yes. Now, Marissa has dedicated one not just to Kat, but also, lest we forget, Loaf. So we're going to add a layer for Loaf. Joe Zaff has asked me, what am I drinking? And I'll tell you that I've started to make my own White Claws. out of seltzer and whatever booze I have on hand. So, cheers.
Is that all a White Claw is?
I believe so. Is it not?
No, I don't know.
wonder if one could simply carbonate the handle, but I hear that that might be bad for my soda stream.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, we'll have to check that. All right, and Kat will check back in with you in a bit as well. So Gwen, it looks like you're at
I'm up four. This is 4 layers so far, and we're gonna keep adding to it.
Are you counting the strawberry as a layer?
Let's ask the chat. Is the strawberry a layer?
If you were to ask me, I mean, well, I have an opinion. We'll give it to the chat. What does the chat think? Because no,
Joseph. What? Wow. We have strong opinions. You know what? We've gotten a 2 no's, a yes, and it's a filling, but a filling is also a layer. So currently we're tied. Julie, what's your tiebreaker?
it's a layer.
It is, you heard it here first, folks. It is both a layer and a filling. It's squares and rectangles, people. It's squares and rectangles.
You know, speaking of squares and rectangles, Lauren Chapman has yet again given us a delicious, and I can actually literally say it was delicious. She's given us another delicious treat this week. And she was very kind in dropping them off door to door, no contact, everything was safe. But folks, I have tasted a Lauren Chapman creation, and I will never be the same.
I tell you, the woman is a goddess.
It is true. Let us watch her in action now.
Today we are going to make a bread pudding. The challenge is layers. This week more is layers. And so that's why I chose bread pudding, because it's super, super easy to make. This is the second recipe I learned how to make after how to fancy up a box cake recipe. And all you really
Fancy up a box cake.
layer on your bread with any other mixins you would like, and then pour a milk and egg batter on top of it. So super, super easy. For this, we are going to need bread.
Look at that bread.
I'm having walnuts and chocolate as the things I'm going to mix into the bread pudding. Sugar, I'm using a combination of brown sugar and normal sugar. Cinnamon, melted butter, vanilla, and eggs. Now this is enough for one recipe of bread pudding, but I have a feeling I'm going to end up doubling it. I actually got 2 loaves of bread for this. All right, so the first thing we're going to start doing is cutting up our bread. We just want to cut it up in nice chunks, and I actually don't normally use a crust for it, so I'll just be starting.
You know, it's funny. I always find that it feels like the shirts are coordinated to the dish. So I'm looking at this Mermaid Lagoon shirt, trying to figure out the connection.
Well, our loaf of bread is all cut up into little chunks. Some of them I kind of made a bit smaller, but they're all little pieces now, ready to go. We're going to put that aside. We're going to put together our egg, milk, and sugar mixture. So first, we need 2 cups of milk.
Look at that. Color-coordinated measuring cups.
I was going to say, you know, Lauren, it's not worth mentioning how well coordinated you are. However, I must mention that the writing on your shirt matches your KitchenAid mixer perfectly. How do you do it?
Oh,
And our eggs.
you know, I'm starting to wonder if Lauren invented mise en place.
We're also going to be adding cinnamon to this, and I just add a lot.
A lot.
A lot. That's a very, you know what? If a pinch can be a measurement, a lot can be a measurement.
This is normally the point where I say I'm so excited to see what Lauren has created, but I know because I tasted it. And I just realized I did not do this intentionally, but I have color coordinated my nails in honor of Lauren. So, Gwen?
Yes.
I'd like to dedicate another layer.
Who would you like to dedicate it to?
I would like to dedicate this layer to Lauren, yet another star baker that has joined us week after week. We are so lucky to have all of our bakers, whether they have joined us once, twice, thrice, or continually. They really are just the best people. And all of you that watch us every week are the best people as well. I just can't track how many are in the chat. I'm not drinking, but I feel like I'm drinking along with Gwen. It's falling apart.
Yes. Oh, well, we are one person.
That's true.
I'm so excited to see what else we have in store today. We have some of our favorite bakers coming back, and we also have a new baker in the tent, I believe.
That's true. And speaking of drinks, this baker comes to us from their bar, where they are preparing a very special layered drink in honor of this week's generous layers. I'm going to be honest, that looks delicious, Gwen.
I cannot wait to eat it, so I have been eating the strawberries.
Which are, as we now know, a layer.
They are a layer.
Well, let's check on our next baker, and that is Joe, with something very special. And perhaps when I was initially reviewing this video, the fumes are why I do feel a bit drunk.
Thank you so much, Gwen and Julie, for having me.
Well, thank you, Joe.
The theme is generous layers. And as someone who loves alcohol, I like to layer my drinks generously. Since we recently launched 2 astronauts from American soil and Independence Day is coming up, today I'll be showing you how to make the 4th of July shot. The first layer we'll be using grenadine.
Ooh,
But gives it a beautiful red look.
It's a tiny shot glass. There's so many layers.
Next, we'll be using one of my favorite alcohols, peach schnapps.
ooh, summery.
This is exciting. I've always wondered what to put schnapps in.
We have blue curacao.
Wow, so it's red, peach, and blue.
Oh, 3 layers.
It's like the holidays. Now, since we have a very generous donor, I thought I would be generous with my layers. So I'm going to have a take on the 4th of July shot.
Oh.
Add a couple more layers to it.
4.
So first we have grenadine.
Oh, I'm counting the 3 before that. Thank you very much.
Schnapps.
Yes.
1 plus 3.
Blue curacao.
Yeah, I like that Joe just wanted to do extra bonus layers. God bless, Joe. God
And we
bless.
have room.
Oh,
I have a lot of alcohol at my bar.
this has taken a turn.
Hypnotique. A French vodka blend. Very delicious.
Oh.
Bacardi. Yum, 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 yum.
We gonna drink Bacardi like it's your birthday, America.
Sweet vermouth. Yum.
Oh,
Perfect for your martini.
I've never heard of sweet vermouth
Hawaiian gin.
in anything.
My sister lives in Hawaii, and she got me this gin. How thoughtful.
Oh,
emotional layer.
yeah.
Do those count double?
Which is a blue carousel, but without the fun blue color. More blue carousel.
Oh,
Contro. Triple sec, but better.
hot take.
Holy boy. American straight whiskey.
You know what? I've had that whiskey. It's very good.
Marinol.
I
Vanilla.
think it was actually a birthday gift.
Ooh, and Amaro. How Italian.
Ooh.
Hey, vodka from Hawaii. Thank you, Caitlin. That's my sister.
Oh, so many emotional layers.
And has a grain in it.
I suspect that the person that did the counting is not the person that did the drinking.
Slow gin.
Yes.
Patron. Pear brandy.
I wouldn't recommend you try this at home, but I trust in Joe's
Hopefully
expertise.
balance the flavors. Another Amaro. Cherry liqueur. That one's thick. Another triple sec. Captain Morgan's Cannon Blast. A blast of citrus and unexpected kick. Well, it's what this drink needs is some more kick.
An unexpected.
Maria liqueur. What a flavor profile. Tequila. Peppermint schnapps. Limoncello. Crown Royal Peach. I bought this because it came in a orange bag. All right, well,
I
let's
feel
go
like
through
I'm just
everything.
watching this in awe at this point for
Nice to
so
see.
many reasons.
Yes, oh, I have to
Into
say,
the number counter right here. It looks like I have that many layers. Perfect. Let's try it out, shall we?
no, Joe, no.
Oh, wait. I have another shelf.
Oh my goodness. Well, we will see where that goes. Already, I think the thought of limoncello and peppermint schnapps is heroic.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out. I gauge this based on White Claw or LaCroix flavors, and I don't think there's any sort of lemon mint, although it does sound familiar. Maybe I'm thinking of like an oil or a lotion, but you
Yeah.
don't eat those.
You don't drink them, although who knows? We'll see what goes into that drink next. Doc Shappa says, what's the current layer to Doc Shappa? We have told you so many times, we are relying on you to count.
We were very honest from the start. We said those of you in the chat will have to hold us accountable. So somebody tell us how many layers we're at.
Listen,
How is that possible, Jan Connolly? There were 34 in Joe's alone.
Wasn't Joe's. I'm sitting in front of 30. But you know what? I appreciate the effort, Jan Connolly. Not like some doctors among us who might have been slacking on the job. We still love you. Oh, be safe driving.
Yes. But good guess, Jen. My guess is, so we've got 34 from Joe.
I'm sitting in front of a solid 26.
26. All right. So I think Jan's was based on 34 plus we saw Cat's 3. So that comes up to 37.
Yes,
and then
that's the 3 that Joe did that he did not count.
30. So Jan was giving us Joe. Okay, so I'm just pulling out the calculator. Okay, so 37 is Joe plus Cat's 3 plus your, how many are you at?
Well, this will be 20. Oh, all right. That's everywhere now. 27. Jan, this one's for you for counting.
All right, Jan, we're at 67. Jan, you are clearly the most responsible person in the chat. So you're now responsible for tracking the layers. Mm-hmm. So Gwen, I'd like to dedicate another layer to Jan.
Excellent. You'll be a strawberry, Jan. Oh, a strawberry Jan.
That's I love it.
Isn't life exciting?
Speaking of exciting.
Speaking of exciting, tell me.
We have an update from Zach from last week. As you all remember, we saw Ghost Cake. There was some found footage. Poor Zach was being haunted until he made the cake. He made the cake. When last we saw him, it felt like the situation had resolved itself. The light came on. Everything was safe. But we have received more footage.
Oh no. Oh. It came back.
Turn around.
No. It's over.
That's what we all thought, Zach.
Oh, there's more.
What?
Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
That cookie is dangerous.
Is Zach the cake now?
I think he's turned into a cake.
Oh my goodness. Well, then this layer has to be in memory of Zach.
Well, hopefully we'll get a part 3.
Yes, I wonder what will happen. These horror franchises always have to go on so long, but they keep me enthralled.
Indeed. I don't do well once they get to 4 or 5, but I watch them nonetheless.
Excellent. All right, we are doing well. I am rounding up on 30. This is my 30th layer. It's an interesting crossover between the Spider-Man and the Blair Witch Project.
Yes, you have to wonder if eventually we're headed towards some sort of movie musical baking situation.
Oh, you know what? I do hope we are, Zach. This is a personal challenge from us. We would very much like to see how this ends. And if it should be a musical, well, we won't be disappointed.
You know who never disappoints?
Who?
Kat. Shall we check on her and her? Oh, that looks gorgeous.
Yes, and I would love to say that, Julie, I truly did believe when you said jiggler on the, I thought you were going to say jiggler on the roof. I was very sure.
All right, so I'd like to share the first one that I started making here. If you can't tell, completely fell apart. I did not stack. I was too ambitious with how many of the same diameter I was stacking upon oneself, and it got too heavy, and so they all split in half. So I've started another one. I might try to resuscitate some of these layers once I get some more stacks going, because I don't want to lose any time. But for now, this stack here, I'm going to very carefully bring it to the camera and not have it fall over. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Jello layers, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 11 Jello layers and 10 mayonnaise layers in this stack so far.
We're relying on Jan to track all the counts, Kat.
Yes.
It's important. Jan says 21. It's important to recognize when you're irresponsible, and in doing so, recognize the responsible party, and that's Jan today.
Exactly. Know your strengths, and clearly responsibility is not our strength.
No, I would say it's our weakness. Kat, I'll be honest. If I don't think about the fact that the creamy center is mayonnaise, it looks quite delicious.
I am looking forward to tasting one of my stacks near the end of the show, and I'll report back as to how the tanginess of the mayonnaise and the sweetness of the Jello just combine together. I can't stop licking my fingers. I probably need to wash my hands a couple more times.
I bet you can't. Oh, boy. Well, thank you for giving us an update on the mayonnaise situation. And also, best of luck to you in those layers. I think you're doing great work. I'm so very impressed by you.
Thank you. See you soon.
All right, we'll be back to check in later.
Oh, now I would love to point out someone in the comments, Major Chonkers had says, wait, you can finally subscribe to IB? And I am thrilled at that. That is not something that I knew. But if so, fantastic. And please do subscribe. You can also check out our other shows. You can. Oh, good. You can check out our other shows. We have had fantastic programming. I've been watching it all week. And please do. It's fun to have on in the background while you're hanging out. It's fun to watch all the different shows that are going on. We have radio plays. We have line games and raunchy jokes. We have our main stage cast. We have puppets in the family show. And we have All Access, who's doing all sorts of fun things. And Once Upon a Doodle, what don't we have is the question. We also have a brand new morning show.
Well, I was going to say, if you're telling yourself, you know what, we don't have a morning show, you're in luck.
You're in luck. Our dear friends, Chloe and Matt, are hosting a morning show Monday at 9 a.m. So you can check in there, and they're going to have so much fun. They're going to recommend crafts and snacks and all sorts of things.
Yes, and we also have some other new shows debuting this week as well. You may have seen one in the crawler, as they call it, for Knights of Prospect. That also is premiering soon. All of this is leading up to our marathon. This may be because I've been watching the Marvel MCU movies, but folks, we're in the end game now. This virtual marathon is going to be a wonderful opportunity to support Improv Boston and all of the comedy and all of the good work that they do for our community. We are so excited to share all of that with you. There's going to be lots of fun surprises, lots of things to look forward to. So this might be an excellent opportunity for you to go ahead and subscribe. There's no button to subscribe, but I've always wanted to do this. Okay, hit subscribe at the little button down there. Does this age me by 10 years because I got to say that?
Yes, it absolutely does. Now, I would love to also say that if you're a member of the IB community, we would love to hear what IB means to you. And there are submissions. We'll take submissions of videos just with you telling us what IB means to you, and they will be played throughout the marathon. So more information on that at improvboston.com. There is.
Where is it? Where do we put it? We hear it. Oh, I'm practically 23 again.
Julie, we've just received the best compliment I've ever received in my life.
What? Where?
I do hope they mean me. Grimster says, I think they were in the Holy Grail. Does that mean us?
Our fingers?
I truly hope it means us. If so, no one tell me otherwise, because I am truly boosted by that. Thank you, Grimster. Now I'm on, I'm going to say maybe my 40th layer. And I'm truly worried because, first of all, I have run out of whipped cream. So what I would love to ask is, do I make more whipped cream, Chet? Or do I attempt to spread Nutella in this? Tell me what your thoughts are, and I will keep building, because I truly have about half of my layers left. And thank you so much for your suggestion. I will not be putting mayonnaise.
I did see a suggestion for Nutella from Dr. And to respond to your earlier question, we are in the last 48 minutes of Endgame, which is what happens when you reach 11:37 and I decide I'm tired. So we'll be catching up on the rest of the movie. It's been a wonderful journey for me. Slight tangent. Apparently, I've missed a lot of those movies with bathroom breaks and never caught back up. So it's really quite wonderful for me to finally see this.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad that you are finding things to entertain yourself. And if you're looking for entertainment, obviously, check out Improv Boston's other programming. Now, we have a new feature.
Are you also in taking on the fumes from Joe's video?
We're almost here. Now, we have a new feature. Difficult to say words, isn't it? New feature this week that I have created, and I'm calling, Is It a Dessert? And it's a game show where I'm going to quiz our dear beloved Julie.
Oh dear.
This
is where you find out I'm a baking sham.
Yes, I'm going to give you 2 words, and one of them is a dessert. And I will ask you, is it a dessert? And you will tell me which one you think is the dessert. Thank you so much, Sam, watching improv. That this is amazing. I really very much appreciate it. My descent into madness must be chronicled. Now, in the chat, if you would like to guess, go ahead, put your guesses in. We appreciate your input. Are we ready to play? Oh, yes. Finger guns indeed, Julie.
Here we go. I'm ready.
All right. The first one, we went a little easy with. We started out slow, and we'll go from there. Is it a dessert, a pan dowdy, or a mufti?
I'm going to go. Would you like a serving of pan dowdy? No, I'd prefer the muff tea. I think I'm going to say a muff tea.
Incorrect.
Uh,
The pan dowdy is a variation on a cobbler. It looks like this. Whereas a mufti is a slang term for a British person in casual civilian clothing. Yes, Jan Connolly, an apple pan dowdy indeed. Let's continue from here. Beautiful. The next one. Is it a dessert, a creme hog, or a titty nope?
I'm going to say a creme pog because creme is a thing, even though I feel like I'm going to be burned by not choosing the titty.
Well, often we are burned by not choosing the titties, but in this case, you're correct.
Oh.
A creme pog is a Welsh pancake, whereas a titty nope is another word for dregs of something. Nope on the titty nope. Kid Tempest says, nope on the titty nope. Yes, thank you so much. I do so enjoy your humor. Hell nope. Oh, what a joy. Next up. Is it a dessert? Kranakin or a zerts?
I'm going to go with Kranakin. Zerts sounds like a name of a chaotic good character, perhaps in Knights of Prospects. I'm just using that as an opportunity to plug a new show.
Well done, Julika. A Kranakin is a Scottish dessert. It looks very much like a trifle. Yes, there it is. And zert is actually a verb. And it means to gulp something down. Kranakin is spelled, because it's a Scottish word, Cranachan. So I apologize if I've mispronounced it. Release the Kranakin indeed. It looks delicious.
I'm getting very hungry. All right, so am I winning more than I'm losing at least?
Julie, we'll have to ask the chat because we know that I'm not keeping count.
Wasn't I? Jan! Jan, will you validate me, please?
Well, let's check on the score and then we'll keep going.
Oh, right.
Also, very dry Nutella. It's not very spreadable.
I got 2 correct. Thank you, Jan.
Beautiful.
I'll take that. I feel yes. Thank you, Suda. I think we've just got. I think we just got our first advertisement within a chat. We've really made it now.
Yes, we absolutely have. Oh, this is how you know.
Yes. The next thing we know, someone will be offering pornographic pictures, and then we'll know we've really made it.
Oh, yikes. Big old yikes.
You know, when I think of the opposite of porn, I think of Lauren Chapman's delicious food videos.
I absolutely do.
Yes. So let's segue into finding out what happens in these delicious bread puddings. I'm still thinking about that. What is that called? A boulia, or however that round loaf was. It was gorgeous.
Oh, a boule?
A boule.
All right, so now we're going to start layering in our main ingredients. We're going to start with the bread and then do chocolate walnuts, back to bread, chocolate walnuts, I think, for now. So about 6 or so layers per tin.
Wallace.
We have 2 trays ready to go for the milk and egg mixture. Now the layers ended up being bread, chocolate walnuts, bread, chocolate walnuts, bread. So that's 7 layers for 24 tins. So I would say, if I were counting so far, that's 168 layers. That's just me though. So now we're going to add on to the mixture.
I'm going to trust her because I certainly wouldn't count the layers.
To add the mixture on to the bread pudding, but it's really important that they all get kind of almost not soaked, but really damp, because that's what makes it everything stick together. these layers. So these are all filled now with our egg milk mixture and our layers, and I'm just gonna top it with cinnamon. One could count this as another layer, but I won't. So now we're gonna put these in.
Do you think she went a little or a lot with the cinnamon?
Kind of bread pudding?
Always a lot. Always a lot.
They're cake tins. They're going to be a bit shorter. I'm just gonna keep an eye on them.
Oh my goodness.
These guys just got out of the oven. They were in there for about 40 minutes. I did have a lot of extra bread left, so I made another 12. So if you're counting that one set of 12, two set of 12, three set of 12, that's 36 individual bread puddings of 7 layers each. That sounds like 252 layers to me. So now we're gonna try one. It's so good. I love bread pudding so much. And this is so nice. I know normally at this part, Dan would come in and try some as well. But to make sure these are truly generous layers, Dan's actually out buying some paper bowls because we're gonna deliver all the extra to our friends. So, yay, 252 layers of bread pudding. Bye.
Oh, bye, Lauren. And we can say that we deeply appreciated them. They were delicious.
All right, so I'm going to give Jan a moment to add up where we are in total right now. Also, this is really exciting. We misread that comment. That was not an ad. That was someone that was subscribing.
Wow.
Virus 6402. I can tell by the dragon in your avatar meme. It was simply because we made the reference to D&D. I'm so excited. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to have new things happening here all the time on the Baking Show Challenge. You know what? Because we've reached so many layers, I will say that, Skyrus, thank you. I will say that by the end of this, I will match any layers over 300 that we keep going. So because Lauren made so many layers, when we get to the end of this, I'm going to donate and match those layers. And if you would like to join me, fantastic. Go to improvboston.com/donate. We would love that. We love all the things that you do. Oh, you're welcome, Radish Breton. Thank you all for joining us.
Gwen, it wouldn't be fair for my twin to do something if I didn't do it as well. So I will match your match over 300.
Oh my goodness. Well, we are doing some good for Improv Boston.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe.
Am I near the button yet?
We need the button. Give us the button.
Let me pull out the ring light.
I'm concerned that this is turning into now more of a tower than a cake. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
It looks so delicious. You know what that would pair well with? Oh, something just happened in the chat that I've never been so emotionally conflicted about. So let's go ahead and pop that up.
Finger puppet Charles Dickens will match Julie the Cause donations as well. Within that tiny puppet is a heart of gold. Oh, apparently I'm over the button. So click on me. Click on Gwen. Click on me. And you know what? Even if you're doing it purely out of spite, Finger Puppet Charles Dickens, we appreciate it. Check out Finger Puppet Charles Dickens Tuesdays and Thursdays. Fantastic programming. Controversial, but fantastic.
This is going wild.
Joseph is matching the donation above 300 as well. So thank you so much to the donor who donated up to the 300. And thank you to everyone who's matching the donations over that as well. We appreciate you so much. In exchange for Bob Ross's release, oh goodness.
Okay, that was Doc Chappa has not mentioned that he'll match any donation yet, so we don't need to worry about Bob Ross. Let's just focus.
Release him, Julie the Car! Release him!
I don't know who that was.
You know what? I would love to go back, and I have some more silly desserts to quiz Julie on. Julie, is it a dessert?
Oh, it just got aggressive.
It's getting aggressive.
Oh dear. Okay, here we go. What's next?
A cracker Jill or a singing hinny?
All right, I'm going to go with Cracker Jill because I feel like it's the blondie brownie connection.
You know, I love your reasoning and I wish it were correct. In fact, a Cracker Jill is the member of the all-female barbershop group, the Cracker Jills. Where a singing hinny is a scone-like griddle cake.
Oh, that sounds like heaven.
They look delicious.
It really does.
All right, Julie. Are you ready?
I don't know. Am I ready?
Is it a dessert? All right. A chapumple or a snollygoster?
I'm going to say a snollygoster just so I can say a snollygoster.
Again, you've picked the correct reasoning, but not the correct answer. A snollygoster is a shrewd or unprincipled person. In the chat, does anyone have a guess as to what a chapumple is? I'll tell you, it was created in 2009 in LA, if that helps, by a humorist, believe it or not. It was created by a humorist and then made into a real thing. What it is, snollygoster was in the Holy Grail. We're just Monty Pythoning all over the place. Doc Chappa, very close. A cherry pie inside of a pumpkin pie. In fact, it's a cake made of 3 layers. A cherry pie, an apple pie, and a pumpkin pie. So, Doc Chappa, you got 2 of the 3 layers. Here's the picture of it. It's insane. Oh my goodness, it's covered in frosting too. Honestly, it would be a lot.
I don't think we're ready for it. I don't think we're ready to see this picture. Is there
We'll show you it later. Beautiful. Let's go back and check on. You know who I'm concerned about.
I think we're all concerned about Joe. I have to say though, the only thing that gives me hope for him is that he is commenting in the chat. So we know that things worked out for him.
Yes, that's true. So we know he's all right.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, Joe, for joining us so that we are comforted in knowing that you're all right.
Look, more tequila. Yes, please. Kahlua.
That's my favorite too. Tequila.
Bacardi again? I have.
Why does he have like
and rum?
Somebody that has 3 containers of hair gel in the medicine cabinet.
Yes.
C'est la vie.
Well, you need to have medium hold, light hold, and heavy hold.
Why? Captain Morgan, when you're out of Bacardi, Mama Juana Spicy. Oh, this is expensive tequila.
Most of these bottles are full.
Mexican tequila. Cognac. Now we're fancy. Spiced rum. Martell Cognac.
I do have to point out, I can't believe we haven't addressed this yet. Joe's apron is on par with Lauren's coordination.
Jaeger. Ooh, honey liqueur. I originally bought this because it sounded like it was Jaeger, and I love Jaeger. Oh, I have Jaeger.
Oh.
It was in the freezer where it belongs because it's delicious.
You know, Jaeger does make me think of my 20s.
Root. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. It just says vodka.
That just goes straight in his mouth.
It's fancy because someone put wax on it. Tito's handmade vodka. It's fancy because it was handmade.
How many bottles?
You're better. You can block the shot. It's all spiced dram. Spicy.
Oh, these are such pretty bottles.
I'm supposed to use that much in a normal drink. I may have upset the flavor balance.
That was the moment.
That was the moment.
Rum chatter. Oh, more Jaeger.
That was not in the freezer, Joe. You have literally instructed us that.
About does it. We're up to about this much layers in our drink. Better
Look,
time to try it.
perhaps I'm 12, but I can't believe
I'm a fancy
we're
bartender.
going to
So
stop
I'm
at
gonna make sure the
68.
flavor profile is fun and complete. So I'm gonna add some bitters. Black walnut,
Oh dear, I didn't. Okay, we can.
cherry, orange, Angostura.
Where do you put the bottle?
It's riveting.
Some vermouth, sure. All right, I think that. Oh,
Oh,
another Bacardi.
how much
Claremont.
Bacardi do you own?
Okay, vodka. Random tequila. Oh, more Bacardi. It's okay because it's in a
Like it's
smaller
your
glass.
birthday, but
Sure, for good taste.
how many birthdays can we have? Oh, look at the stir. Oh, it's the color of
All right, we're currently at this many layers. I think that's enough, don't you?
yes, please.
What am I thinking? I forgot the garnish. Maraschino cherries. These are the cheap ones. Luxardo maraschino cherries. These are the expensive ones.
Oh no!
Orange.
Did he just put a full
All right,
orange?
I really think that's it at this point. I don't see any more bottles of Bacardi. Over 2 cups of pure flavor. An American shot.
I really
Don't
regret
worry,
our one rule in this moment.
Yes, we didn't think that through.
There's one more thing I think I could add. Healthy
No!
mayonnaise. Just kidding. I'm not a monster.
Oh,
Has anyone been tracking how many
You-
shots of
Dinner.
Jaeger he's had?
Who
Yeah.
will donate $1 for each one of these layers in our drink? Cheers. It's not bad.
I don't believe you.
you! That cannot be true. That cannot be true. Oh my goodness. Well then, if someone wants to name what was that drink named, Joe? If it had a name, put it in the chat. But if not, we should name it because holy moly!
If I may offer the suggestion, Bill Pullman's 4th of July.
We'll take all suggestions in the chat. Go for it. Put all of them in there, and we'll read them out and put them up as we get them. I think I might be done with my creation. I'm going to guess. Let's see, how many more did I put on? Not many. I'm going to say this is about 58 layers at this point, vaguely. So I'm excited about that. Gwen, how many crepes do you have on hand? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 more crepes.
Just plop them on top.
I'm just putting them on top. This is my big crepe on top of it. There.
It was so solid. All right, so poor Jen. I feel like we've really put a responsibility on her now in tracking all of these layers. So, Jen, let us know if there's any information that you need from us in order to figure out the total number of layers.
And we'll do our best. We promise. Now, I believe we do have a picture of oh gosh, I want to call it a turducken, but it's not. In fact, it's a
It's an emotional turducken.
it's a trapumple. I think we do have a picture of it. This is what it looks like. It's a small picture, but you can see it's a monstrosity. Much like Joe's drink. Now, Julie, I have 3 more for you.
All right.
All right. Julie, is it a dessert? A nun's fart? Or a nun's breast?
Oh, I'm going. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but I'm going to go with a nun's breast because I feel like if you're gonna go that hard, go the hardest.
Julie, you're correct. This was a trick question. They are both desserts.
Stop it! Are they different desserts?
They are. This is the nun's breasts. As you can see, it is very aptly named. They look familiar. And this is a nun's fart. Whose fart that is, I don't know. I'm upset for them, honestly. It's the nun's fart is a sort of beignet souffle roll, and nun's breasts are these bonbon cakes. Fantastic. I'm thrilled they both exist, honestly. If you're going to go that hard, go the hardest. Yes. Put that on a magnet.
This is my legacy.
This is your legacy. Julie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Is it a dessert?
Ah!
A fly's graveyard or camel's balls?
All right. A fly's graveyard.
You're correct!
Why?
Graveyard is a pastry and fruit sandwich. It's sometimes also called a Scottish fruit slice. Oh, goodness. All day, every day. However, a camel's balls is, in fact, a confectionery. It's just a candy. It's not a baked good, but it is a candy. What it's made of, I don't know. I don't want to know. No one should ever know.
You know, when I was a kid and I said fart, my dad would always yell at me and tell me that was rude and I needed to say break wind instead. And yet, out in the world, there are desserts that exist called the nun's fart and the nun's tit.
Pastry chefs who go to school for many years and cook for kings and queens. Throwing
fancy people
around.
Throwing nuns' teats all upon the table in 4-star restaurants.
Yes, but do you think that that's a subtle way of getting revenge if you're a cook? Like, I'll show them, I'll serve them a nun's fart. I don't know. We have one final. Is it a dessert, Julie?
Oh, okay, all right. I thought we were done. All right, I'm ready.
A summer berry grunt or a sweet summer grint? I'll say it again. A summer berry grunt or a sweet summer grint. And thank you so much for the applause for me being able to say that. I'd like to thank the Academy.
I'm going to go with the sweet summer grint simply for the alliteration.
You know what? I wish it were so, Julie. Let's start with a summer berry grunt. A summer berry grunt is a style of cobbler. This is the picture of it. Yes. It's delicious. It looks so yummy. But there is such thing as a sweet summer grint as well. That's the sweet summer grint.
It's Rupert Grint.
It is indeed Rupert Grint. Oh, and if he's a mean one, I don't know it. He looks so happy there in the summer with his Lolita glasses.
Oh, that sweet, sweet Rupert Grint who bought himself an ice cream truck from Harry Potter money.
So he truly could just be a summery Grint, a sweet summer Grint in his ice cream truck.
So before we check on Kat and her layers, I just want to put it out to the chat, in particular Jan, who we've hired for this, whether she wanted it or not, about where we are with our layers. We are relying on all of you to tell us. There are several matching donations on the line for this. 459.
All right. Fantastic.
This is not the number I expected, but that's all right. We don't need to eat for a few weeks. As long as the doors stay open.
You know what? It's for a very good cause.
It is
for a very
indeed.
good cause.
Truly, Improv Boston does so much for us. It is so important to make the community laugh, but they also have quite a few outreach programs. And when the doors open, they will be there to do those outreach programs. And if you're interested in taking classes at Improv Boston, the next round of classes, some of them started this week and some of them will be continuing next week to begin as well. So there's a lot of wonderful things happening to the theater, especially leading up to our virtual marathon.
Oh, Joseph says, Julian Gwen, I have video of us drinking more of the drink. You know what, Joe? Send that to your Instagram story, tag Improv Boston, and we will post it to the Improv Boston story. And be sure to mention, we don't have baking classes yet. That one guy commented.
Is that a request?
Is that a request? Because we might be able to stir something up. Joe, make sure to mention our donations and our matching, and we will repost. Please also be safe. We care about you very much. I think, friends, we have time to check in and see how it's going for Kat.
Oh, hello. So I have finished all of my layers. My Jello is depleted completely. So I was going to celebrate with a little bit of Lauren's delicious bake, but of course with a nice topping of mayonnaise. So,
Lauren and Doc Chapa, how do you feel about this? Tell us in the chat.
Uh-oh.
I have to say, she did a very good job. They are very delicious. Thank you, Lauren.
We see a rivalry.
I was hoping you'd appreciate the fact that I'm enjoying your sweets so much. But to the exciting part of the show, I guess, is how many layers I finished. So this stack here, I was able to achieve 30 layers in total between the Jello and the mayonnaise. I'll show you all alternating colors of Jello.
It looks so good,
And now,
I remember the mayonnaise.
and then I have this second stack of 6. I'm a little worried because the reason why they're staying upright is because they're all kind of leaning into one another. So please take my word for it when I say that there's 58 Jello layers here. I can rotate it so you can see that there are indeed 6 skewers. So there are six stacks. Do you believe me? You look, I can't tell.
No, I just need you to do the math for me.
Yes.
Oh, well.
Math.
Oh, okay. So 30 plus 58 is 88. And I have one more sort of way, because I really wanted to hit 100 layers. And I thought that I would have enough Jello pieces to do so, but because of the Tower of Terror here, I ran out of layers to do 100. So I have a number of aprons on, as many as I could find. I didn't actually count them when I put them on. So I'm going to take them off and we can count how many layers that I have. All right, so this is the first apron, my standard. So that's 1. This one is from a Mother's Day breakfast apron.
There's many layers.
2. This is a smock from the Museum of Fine Arts that my sister went to school. I already lost count. 1, 2, 3. Jen, I hope you're counting. And just a plain red apron.
Your mother wants to know if this is another strip show.
No, I'm going to keep. Nudity is not allowed on Twitch. I know that. And here I have a gardening apron. I'm gonna again trust Jen, because every time I start speaking, I lose track. And here's another Mother's Day breakfast apron. Now we have a Happy Holidays Christmas apron. Another plain red apron.
This is more aprons than I've ever owned in my life. Come on. This is amazing.
Some of these are multi-purpose aprons. And so here we have a flower apron,
Oh my goodness.
another Mother's Day breakfast apron, and this last apron is a special one that I've just had made. It's my Hellman's mayonnaise apron. On the pockets, I have little labels for Hellman's mayonnaise.
Oh,
And that's my last layer, and I will not take it off so we don't get flagged. Yes. How many layers was that? Because I definitely lost count.
All right.
7 aprons.
Jen had an important question with your total.
11.
Were you counting the mayo in your layers? Jen wanted to know. She's doing the full final count.
So the numbers that I said earlier, 30 and 58, are counting the mayonnaise in between. I had to stop putting the mayonnaise in between because I was running out of time for these. However, I almost forgot the fact that I need to eat something as part of the rules for the baking show. So I'm going to use
She's
this
just going to
from
dive
this
right
pile.
into it, isn't she?
From this pile, we're just going to go for these pieces that have fallen, but they still mean something. I can show you that mayonnaise and Jello is a perfect pair, just like you two.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so sweet.
weird compliment.
So many mixed feelings. Thank you, Kat.
Whew.
Now,
Oh,
we're coming to the end of our show. Thank you so much for everyone who has donated and for everyone who has subscribed.
no, I'm pointing the wrong way.
Everyone who subscribed and tuned in today. The last thing is to cut this. So let's see what happens, shall we?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
This is good. All right, Jan said 616 layers.
Yikes. Between me, Julie, and Charles Dickens, we will match.
And Joe.
And Joe, we will all combine to match. I'm so very proud of us. I can confidently say that we underestimated our viewers. All right, this
Please
is
don't drop it.
one slice, and this is what it looks like on the inside.
You know, it really looks beautiful.
It really does. I'm thrilled about it.
I'm thrilled for you. Oh dear. Just there we go. Just get it in there. Don't forget the Nutella, Gwen.
No, I will not. Joe says $79 each. Thank you for doing that math, Joe.
It's almost like they knew we couldn't do the math. Oh my goodness. Well, as we wind down, and I know that Gwen is not going to talk with all of this in her mouth.
No.
Let's talk about our episode next week. So next week, as you know, is the Improv Boston Marathon. I can't say for sure our involvement, but we will be involved. So we'll be letting you know what that involvement is. But we'll go ahead and let you know that our theme for next week will be low and slow. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'll hold for your applause about our puns. You're still going for that, aren't you, Gwen?
I have a whole one to finish by myself, so.
Oh my goodness. And thank you all. Thank you to our new subscribers. Thank you, Jen Connolly, for keeping us accountable with these numbers, because I know that I wouldn't have been accountable myself. Math was never my strong suit. Is it a dessert? Who knows?
If I find more desserts, we will play more games in future. Jen Connolly, thank you for loving the show. We love you as well. Sam watching improv. If it weren't full of cream, I would try to mail it to you, but I don't think you would want it when it got there.
Yes.
It would be icky.
And as always, we will end the show with a tribute to Matt in the tent. I will say Matt was not able to join us today. So as you know, when Matt isn't able to join us, he gets a very special video about how we're missing him, as opposed to a video about how he's a hero, which we learned last week from Enrique Iglesias can sometimes mean a very melodramatic movie in a music video form.
The more you know.
And so for today, we bid you adieu with our video.
Hi. I'm Finger Puppet Bob Ross. And I'm just looking at a world of beauty. Do you want to paint some happy little trees with me? Come on. Let's paint.
I feel your heart so close to mine. And just
I hope right now someone is holding their hand up to their laptop at our faces. Just like that.
Just like that. Well,
Just
thank
like
you so
that.
much. We will see you next week for the virtual marathon.
Goodbye, everyone.